So I'm Eric Rosenberg. I'm the owner of Sun Tours here in Albuquerque. We've also got folks from Tucson and some other cities who are dialing in. To my right is Lucas Mhina. He's the man of the hour. So he's represents Carnivore Safari, our partner in Tanzania and Kenya and Rwanda. And so he'll take us through a presentation about our upcoming tours there. We're very happy. We have two 2024 tours, and we still have space for one more one or two more, one more room on our first departure this year. And that leaves, I think, the end of May, May 30th. So if anybody's in,
Going to 29th.
29th now, right? Because of air schedules, we had to move that, and we're flying a day earlier. So if anybody's interested in this year, see us afterwards, and we're happy to take your reservation to get on the first departure. The second departure this year is already sold out as well. So we're very happy for that. We also have an extension to Zanzibar, if anybody's interested to take this year, and that's also a 5-day extension that'll be unescorted because we don't have enough numbers for that, but it's still very individual, and Lucas will tell about that as well. So has anybody traveled with Sun Tours before? And I know many of you have. Okay, so those of you who haven't, just a little bit of background. We've been in business here in Albuquerque since 1978. So 46 year in business. We've been taking folks on destination tours all over the world, all guided, escorted, all departing from Albuquerque. And our sister company is in Tucson. It's Pleasure Band Tours, and that's the one I previously owned before buying Sun Tours a couple years ago. And we also do the same thing. We've been taking folks on destination tours all over the world since 1978 as well. So nice symbiosis in buying Sun Tours. So both guided expeditions. We use premier partners all over the world when we travel internationally. And we're very lucky to be in the hands of Lucas and his company. So this is maybe the third or fourth time you've been here to grace us with telling us about your tour. And he's going to tell us all about it. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to raise your hand. And Lucas will do his best to answer any questions you have. Okay, thank you very much for attending. We certainly, of course, have food for anybody, and I can walk around with coffee if anybody needs a refill. So thank you. And thank you, Lucas.
Thank you. Thank you. In Tanzania, we say jambo. If I say jambo, it's like hello. Jambo, we say jambo. 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 Oh, wow. You're all speaking Swahili now. That's very good. As I introduced me, some of you knows me. My name is Lucas Mhina, born and raised in Tanzania. I'm a father of 4 kids. The oldest one, she's 21, and I got 16 years old, and there's 14 years old, the one we adopted, and I got Mr. Oops. He's 6 years old. He's my CIA FBI, tells me everything what is going on at home. Yeah, so I've been guiding for almost 25 years. So that's me. I love nature, and that's what makes me to be here. Finally, I've been sponsored by their friends. Christine go for my further education in England. Then I went back home. I opened my tour business, started running the tour business, and then I opened the schools. So I have the schools, I have the tour business. Now I have a lodge. So all this you're gonna experience it in Serengeti. Yeah. So for this region now, just go straight to the presentation. I would like to share to you Tanzania, Kenya, and Rwanda. That region where we do mostly of our tours. We do even Uganda a little bit, but the in and out there is a little bit difficult. So, but for those who are real adventurers, we just combine that. So as you can see on the map, so I just put only Tanzania, but it's way in eastern part of Africa, as you can see that. If you go this. Frank? Laura? Just, I just just want to go to the next slide. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those tech savvy people.
Exactly. I'm 55 plus already. So. Disadvantage. Good. Good. So.
Okay, don't put it
All right.
in front of
All right.
you.
Okay, anyway, so this is a region actually, it's way in eastern part of Africa. So we got a Tanzania down there, and then we have Rwanda right there, and then we have Kenya. So speaking of these three countries, comparison to United States of America, Tanzania is almost twice the size of California. Kenya is almost the size of Texas. And Rwanda, you have this small state, Maryland. Yes, so it's almost the size. So take our three countries together in America, it's like a little dot, so like that. So in this region now, this is where most of wildlife are. We talk about over 25% of animals in Africa, you find them there, including the wildebeest migration, including the gorillas, the chimps, and so many other types of monkeys, as well as for the birders who are bird lovers. That is a region, especially from December all the way to June, because we have so many migratory birds come from Europe coming to our region there. It's over 1,500 different species of birds, all beautiful, colorful, not like your starlings here, so yeah, so okay, so speaking of all these other attractions, these are the main ones for the Ngorongoro side. I mean, for the Tanzania side, we have the Ngorongoro crater. Of course, there's a Oldupai Gorge where they discovered the human being fossils, and there's Mount Kilimanjaro, the only freestanding mountain in Africa, and there's Great East Africa Migration, and that's what you have to see. And this one can be seen in a Serengeti National Park in Tanzania side, as well as Masai Mara in Kenya side. That's why Sun Tours, they'll be doing the tour, they do tours in Tanzania, as well as next year we'll be having the departure for Kenya and Rwanda as well. So that's all about. And of course, this whole region of East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, the whole region is rich in culture. We have Tanzania itself, it's about 128 different tribes. In Kenya, there are about 43 tribes. In Rwanda, there's one tribe, the Rwandese, but I'm sure you heard about Hutus and Tutsis, something like that. But they're all, you can imagine all these tribes, each one speaks different languages. We have different customs, we have a different way of living, but we're all living harmony, like that. And so, and of course, the islands, I was surprised that it's only one couple signed up, because a lot of people, they didn't know about it. Zanzibar is one of the very unique places to visit. There's a very lot of history. The Arabs, how the Arabs get there, how the blacks get there, and it's one of the World Heritage sites. They have this beautiful stone town, and speaking of spices, different kind of spices for making different kind of dishes, you get that in Zanzibar. And of course, beautiful beaches as well. So this is one of the slideshow, but let's move that way. Anyway, speaking of one of the attractions of this region of eastern part of Africa is the Ngorongoro crater. This is a must to see. This is the only unbroken caldera in the world with animals in it. Yeah, which means, according to scientists, thank God I was not there those years back, they said this place used to be a taller mountain than Mount Kilimanjaro of today. And Mount Kilimanjaro is over 19,000 feet. And the first time this mountain erupted, and all the ashes or lava, as you call it, they were pushed to the Serengeti, and that's what the Serengeti plains were formed after that. And then second time it collapsed and make this huge hole in there. So in there, which is about 110 square miles roughly, it have over 25,000 animals living in there. and the majority of them are wildebeest and zebras. And of course, that's a breeding place for rhinos, and then they got a lot of hyenas, lions, flamingos, you name it. So sometimes we call this beginners park, because you see almost everything. It's like a natural zoo, like that. So we normally go there and then go down in a caldera, do the game drive, enjoy our picnics there. Oh, good to see you. Yeah, good. Yeah, so we do our lunch in the crater, enjoy the game drive, and go to the other places. Okay, where was I supposed to play? Right there. Got it. So all the Pi Gorge. This is where they discovered a human being fossils. You heard about Leakeys, huh? Yeah. So we'll pay a visit there. And they have a beautiful museum, and they have a very good lecture on how this place, you can hear all about Zinjanthropus and Bose and all the tools which have been used, been collected those many years ago. So we just detour for that to get that experience and proceeded to where we are supposed to go. Yeah, and Mount Kilimanjaro, of course, it's in Tanzania, and then the name Kilimanjaro. Let's go back a bit. In Africa, before the explorers came, all Africans, we had our own gods. We had our way of believing. Part of it was the mountain. This mountain in the middle of nowhere in Africa, having that white cap there, to us was like something very special. And it was a mountain of God. So the name Kilimanjaro, which it means mountain of God. And of course, we have another mountain called Oldonyo Lengai. It's a Maasai word, which means mountain of God. It's still active volcano. So for the locals, the Maasai people do not believe about heat and pressure. That thing comes out. No, must be God and happy. Maybe we did something wrong. So they go there and kneel down and talk to the God. And as per their beliefs, it works out. And then there's all these huge fig trees, strangler fig trees, where the roots are coming from the branches. So they believe again, hey, how come the roots are coming from the branches? They don't know about this science, whatever. It's about, this God representative. So we had that. So before the explorers came and brought Christianity and the Arabs brought the Quran and Muslim, we had our own way of believing. So Kilimanjaro means mountain of God. And it's one of the attractions. For some people climb it. But for those who can come climb like me, we have an excuse. If you can climb it, you drink it. Yeah. So we have a Kilimanjaro beer, we have Kilimanjaro wine nowadays, and the Kilimanjaro water. So it's so we'll celebrate together, But the way our programs are, especially for Tanzania, they will tell where you're going to stay, or the park where you're going to go to Arusha National Park. There's a visibility of the mountain, so you can be able to see it. And where the airport is very close to the mountain as well. So yeah. But if you want to climb, it's between 6 to 7 days climb. Yeah, so which is a better way to drink it. Okay, now this is one of the top attraction for the eastern part of Africa, and this is what makes Tanzania and Kenya very popular for this. Speaking of the migration, you mostly talk about two countries, Kenya, which is Masai Mara, and Tanzania, Serengeti. But Serengeti is almost 10 times to Masai Mara size-wise. And I'm not speaking because I'm from Tanzania. All wildebeests and zebras, they are all Tanzanians. You know why? Because they're all born in Tanzania and go to Kenya for vacation. And our dear friends Kenyans don't like that, because each one is trying to, attracting people to the side, which is good. But because this is a migration, it depends on where you are, what time of the year. That's why now in this year and even next year, May, all the groups will only go to Tanzania. That's where you're going to see them. But we have another program for next year, which will be September, October for sun tours. And then we're going to do Kenya side. So that's when we'll be able to see them crossing the Mara River. So we're talking over 4 million animals migrating in this ecosystem. you know, so the wildebeest, they say 1.6 million, they're more than that, you know, maybe 2 million, you know, and the zebras approximately maybe 1 million. And there's the Thompsons and Grand gazelles, and there's some few carnivores, you know, like hyenas, which follow migration. They don't complete the whole cycle, but they do part of it. And there's some few nomadic lions who have been kicked away from the territory by their fathers when they become like 2 years, something like that. And then they follow migration a bit. Why not? Because it's a free buffet. You know? Yeah. So it is one of the things which you gotta see in different times. So the way we do our tours, what is this? The May group, we stay in Serengeti in 4 nights in 2 different locations, so that you're able to see that. But for Masai Mara, which will be next year, September, October, it's easy because in the Mara Triangle, that's where everything happened into the Mara River. So we'll be staying in one place for 3 nights. So there's 100% guarantee you'll see that. Yeah. So okay, where is this thing? Right there. Uh-oh.
The little teeny one.
Oh, the little teeny. Oh, come on. Right there. Okay, so this is I mean, the map on how they do migrate. The white line you see there, that is international border. And you see that animation, the way it goes. And you see on the right here, you see the different month. So that means you have to know where you are, what time of the year, so that you can be able to see. That's why in May, June, actually in June, we'll be in the central Serengeti. And September, October, we're gonna be way up there in the Masai Mara. Okay, so that's how it is into that. But speaking of this, sorry, you have to, there's no way you can talk about Serengeti without touching Masai Mara, and then including the Ngorongoro, and including the game control area. So all this huge area, it is visited by these creatures. So they go all around there. And there's a reasons why they do migrating. One is water. They are water dependence, which is every single day. But this does not mean that they all get to drink water every day. They lined up, they go to a river to drink the water. They got to be scooped, maybe by crocodiles or lions. They run away. That thirst just disappear. But every day they have to go. And the second thing, because of the number, they need food. They eat almost 4 tons of grasses a day for that, not for one, for all of them, you know? So they eat a lot. By eating a lot, it's very productive in a way that you eat, you poop, you manure. So I feed you, you take care of me. You know what I mean? So it goes that way. And then at the same time, when they move from one place to another, there are so many terrestrial creatures who cannot follow them. They need them to go there. One of that are crocodiles in the river. Okay, leopards who are territorial, pythons, dung beetles, flies, you know, even when they go outside the park, the locals, you know, they get a little, okay. All right. Hey, okay, good. Yes, now, speaking of all these animals which migrate into the Masai Mara Serengeti ecosystem, who are the migratory ones? We have the wildebeests, which we nickname that the animals, you know, the spare part animal, you know, because they look like they got everything in there. They have a grasshopper looking face. They have a mane like a horse. They have a tail of the horse. They have a gazelle's legs. So we said when Creator was doing all the creations, if he remains a little patterns, you know, and then he put them together, and he came with Mr. Wildebeest without a brain. So that's so they can cross the river and then come back, you know, like that. So they all like that. But they're very important into the ecosystem. They're the ones which makes all these other creatures survive, as I told you before. And then we get the zebras. You know, the beautiful zebras, which almost 1 million of them are migrating to that ecosystem. And we get Grand gazelle, and of course there's a smaller another type of gazelle, so Tommies, which are they have a black stripes on the side. And we get elands. And apart from that, we have cats as well. like carnivore, let's put that way. We have lions and hyenas and sometimes jackals and all those together. And that's all this big ecosystem. Happy. So I'm very happy when I click on this course. So different time of the year in Serengeti, there's a different movement. This is between May and June. And this is what you can see. Now, see they all line up going that way. They're all moving, heading to the western part of the Serengeti. And that's why the reason why we're going to stay Serengeti for 4 nights. So it's easy for us to follow them wherever they are. And June and July, those are the ratting season. Those are mating season. So you'll hear a lot of, the males trying to regroup up the females and then marry, okay? So normally, the males start to mate with the younger females who were born a year before. And then after, once they finish that, they mate now with the females who had the babies in the same year. So June, the females were born a year ago, and then July, they met with all the females who had the baby the same year, which means all of these females are baby producer machine. Every year, there's a baby. Yeah, every year. And all these giving birth, it's normally happening in February, March. So when you come in June, you'll be seeing the babies, a little bit older. But of course, you'll see other animals, babies, which are non-seasonal breeders, like some zebras, some of the zebras, giraffes, elephants, monkeys, and so many other creatures, gazelles, which are non-seasonal. But wildebeest, they're specifically giving birth February and March. So this is the one of the season. And this is the time when they cross the river now. This is September, October, and that's what we're going to do next year when we do Rwanda for gorilla trekking and the Masai Mara to see this unbelievable. So you see the way they're all lining up. We normally say that among all these wildebeest, you see them in a single file. Only one knows where he was going, the first one. The rest are like, oh, I follow him, But in there, as I was telling you earlier, they kill each other more than being killed because in there, the rocks underneath. And then sometimes the waters, there's too much currents. That's why you see like a little U or like a little V, they're, being pushed by water. So, and some of them drown, like you see like that one back there. And of course, sometimes Mr. Crocodile is somewhere there in a corner trying to catch one, whatever. So by the ones who manage to cross, they cross. And sometimes when they cross and then get to the other side, the mama look back, she don't see her baby and turn back. When she turn back, the rest, they follow her. So you have a line goes this one and line goes that one. But all this happened, it's a mother nature thing, the way to control it. Imagine approximately 2 million animals, as I said, and then let's say 1.5 are females. All these ones give birth.
Yeah.
All the baby survives for the next 10 years. I think we have to bring some to New Mexico. You know what I mean? There won't be a room there. So nature have its own way of balancing like that. And it's so amazing. Like before COVID 10 years back, we lost, there was a serious drought in Serengeti. Lots of people died. Lots of people died because there was no water in the rivers completely. And people try to interfere nature, goes there and buy water using a big trucks, take the water to a hippo pool. They were dying like crazy. And we thought it was going to be the end of the hippos. Today, oh my God, they're all back. So the nature is trying, you're too many of you, like that. So the ones that die, they'll be eaten by crocodiles. It's a sad thing though, but crocodiles, the vultures, the catfish, tilapias, which are in there. The remaining will be pushed to the Lake Victoria, as I explained to you. So there's a corner, we call it corner 1, where most of these old dead bodies, they go there. It's like a carpet, so that's almost half a mile. And that's where you see all kind of birds, all kind of crocodiles, thousands of them, catfish, everybody. It's a free buffet. Yeah. See now, this is amazing. All piled up together. And that's what I was saying. The one which was way far right, that one is much clever, Like I don't want, I can do myself. Yes. And here the zebras, huh? Yeah. They're drinking water. This is one of the pictures which I always use it all my presentation. I love this picture. When you see all those zebras, look those ears. They're all seriously looking, like, because they know even the water is brown, Mr. Crocodile is there. And at the same time, those ears are independent moving, you know, so they can hear from the back that maybe a lion or whatever. So a picture like this, I want to tell you one thing, which is very important. When you're there to enjoy it, there's a time you have to put down your camera and look. Pictures, okay, it's good, thank you. You come and tell your friends and they'll travel to sun tours, but you gotta put in your head. There's a time you have to put everything down and stand there and enjoy. You get to know all these small little details like that.
Lots of crocodiles.
Lots of crocodiles, lots of crocodiles, yeah. Lots of crocodiles in there, and the hippos as well. See, this is a number, it's endless. You see, as far as you can see, they're all zebras. And there's a times these zebras, some zebras mixed up with the wildebeest. So the ones mixed up with the wildebeest, we call that the complementary feeders because they have no competition among the two species. Zebras, they have a teeth like a horse, upper and a lower jaw, so they can cut the longer grasses. And the wildebeest like a cow, so they eat like that. You know, so they live together. And of course, they have the same enemies, predators, lions and hyenas. So they alert each other if there's any kind of danger there. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Come on. Please. Okay, here are the giraffes. Yeah, so see there's a safari vehicle to the other side. That shows you how close you can get to these animals, okay? You can even use your cell phone for taking pictures. But I'm not saying that don't bring a big camera, you can. But cell phones can work out. And we normally prefer to do the mornings and the afternoon, and sometimes mid of the day, depends on how the day goes, because we discuss with the guides who have been there a day before, and they give us a hint on how the days goes, as what Eric was saying, or I mean, my friend was saying there. It does matter, you have the best itinerary ever. You need to have the right manpower. Guides are everything. And the guides who are passionately love nature, they will do the best for you. Because when you're there, you see a group of giraffes or wildebeest, you name it, there's a car positioning, which is very important. Against the sun for the better pictures. Otherwise, you will be having a zebra giraffe picture, but darker because you're, you know, so all those things needs to have the right guide, as what you say. Yeah. Okay, the predators of our national park, of course, we have the lions. This one, again, this is one of my favorite picture tools. One of the early morning, you can see a little shadow on the other side. So we parked the car in the right place. And I got it, they were just having great time in the morning. And of course, more active for these ones. It's in the morning and late evening. In the middle of the day, you know, they just lay down there and forget about it. And the good thing is see how full belly they are. Yeah, yeah. They're in the wilderness as a baby lion or a lion or whatever, any carnivores, they're opportunistic. Which means when they get it, they gotta eat it. As much they sometimes they eat, they can't even move because they don't know what next. Yeah, and the best time is when the migration are there. When migration are there, they go for the little warthogs or gazelles, and it's not enough. If the dad is there, big male, is going to take all of it. Because for the lions, there is no baby's portion. You know, there's nothing like that. You know, baby, welcome to the world, but this is not for you. Yeah, so when they get opportunity, they really eat and enjoy. Hyenas, you know, yeah. These are spotted hyenas, and the hyenas, for your information, are my favorite animals. Yes, I love hyenas. Just a little story about it. When I was a little boy, my mom, you know, as a kid, you give him food to eat and then you don't finish it. Always my mom was telling me, oh, I'm going to call a hyena for you. So everybody was real scared in the village. Everybody scared of hyena because hyenas, I believe that they're very mean. So by that, I'm going to call hyena, finish it. So when I went to the wildlife college, just from nowhere, our lecturer appointed me to do hyena project, you know, the presentation. I was like, what the heck is coming up? So when I read about the hyenas, that's when I realized they're very fascinating creatures. In all the carnivores we have in our wilderness, hyenas, of course, first of all, they're not dogs, they're not cats. they're on their own. They have only 2 mammal glands back there. And they give birth 2 puppies, very rare 3. And in the hyena world, ladies, you must like this. In a hyena world, females are the leaders. Okay, so they're the deciders, and the bigger body size compared to the males. And into their den life, or raising the baby's life, they have what is called maternity den, and they have what is called communal den. So in this maternity den, when the mama she's ready to give birth, she goes there and give birth and stay with the puppy hardly 2 weeks, and she takes her puppies to the communal den where there's all puppies of different ages, from 2 weeks to 2 years. And now she can go out and hunt and come back. But hyenas puppies are the only creatures, I mean, into the carnivores with which are born with eyes open, and they got their teeth already. Yeah, so they're ready, like that. So we'll see this, and then they have so many different way of communicating. One of it is laughing. You heard about laughing hyenas. So if you hear hyena laughing, please don't go there. That's aggressiveness, right? So they fight for the carcass or for the food. But another one is whooping. Woo! They do that at night, and especially for the territorial marking of the area. Yeah. So these are spotted hyenas, and of course we get the cheetahs. Yeah. So this is a mama with her 3 siblings, and they're almost the same age. When they get about 18 months to 2 years, that's the time she leaves them instinctively, and she become on hit. She goes find a male to mate, and then she let them hang by themselves, and then slowly, she's already taught them how to hunt, and then they survive, struggling a little bit, and then life goes on. So, yeah, and then we have lions. I put this picture to show you how close you can get to these animals. So that's kind of the safari vehicles we're going to use. It's a 6-seaters behind the driver. Open the roof, and then that canopy, whatever you call up there, to block the sun directly to you, and enjoy them. They're there. Yeah. So sometimes we go close. As I said, guide is everything. While you're up there, you say, "Wow." The guide's job is to look at the behavior of an animal. Yeah. If the animals, you want to take one American, it moved.
So, did you say there was 6 people plus the driver?
Yeah.
6.
It's a 7. It's 8 seats.
8 seats.
Okay, 2 in front and 6 in the back.
Okay.
But each one have a window seat.
Okay.
Right. And between the back seat, there's a fridge there where you fill the water. You'll be having enough water to drink every single day. And you can even charge all your small electronics in the truck. We try to pimp it. Yeah, so he's a leopard, so you can go very close to these animals sometimes if they come very close to there.
You
Yeah.
have to have a first aid kit, huh?
Yeah. That's right. And elephants. Yeah. So see, there's this car this side and the other car. So now this tells you, sorry, I speak too much about guides, but tells you how guides are. We were just parking the car like that, and we saw the elephant family come. We radio each other because each car have a radio. So moved, and then we let the path in between. So they cross like that. Yeah. So, yep. And this is the hippo pool, one of the best hippo pool in Serengeti National Park. We normally go there very early in the morning, and in order to see the hippos coming back from grazing. So that day when we were there, and likely where my camp is very close, it's like less than 20 minutes drive to there. We'll be leaving 6 o'clock in the morning. Got there like 6:20, and see these hippos coming back from grazing, because hippos are active at night. So this means to you, be ready to wake up early in the mornings, and that's which will bring you to Africa, to see this. Yeah, and because if you go there in the middle of the day, they all look like a big rocks. Yeah. So you see them coming in and interacting and like that, and then after that we go back to the camp, enjoy breakfast, or we might go out to the breakfast. Depends on how we do. And you better know that coming to Africa, you're not coming to lose weight. You'll be fed 3 times a day. Yeah. Yeah. This is my first time to see rhino very close to the car. Yeah. So first of all, I was parking this side. That's one of my colleagues, and this rhino tried to come like charging, Yes, but I was ready with my colleagues. Move. He was a senior to me. He said, Lucas, relax. I'm older than you. I know what I'm talking about. So in fact, the rhino went very close and they took his time. I was like, okay, Lucas, come down. So we were very lucky actually. So that's a black rhinoceros. And that's what we get them in Ngorongoro Crater. Yeah. And this is another, I put this track so that you can see how close you'll be when you do the game drives and see all these animals, see vastness of Serengeti. And this is again, it's in June, right after the rain seasons. It's now still a little bit of greenish like that. And the nice about the time you're coming, most of the students are not yet coming. They'll be starting coming in July. That's the time when the schools are closed here. And a lot of Europeans come July, August, in between. So you'll be there, some few people, but not as it is like the way it is in July, like that. Yeah. Yep. You can use your cell phone to take a picture. That was the same family of cheetah, Yeah. So, yeah, there we go. And this is how we feed you guys. Picnic, we know all, we'll get all the information, how, if anybody have an allergy of so many things, so you can tell us, and then we'll prepare the food accordingly. Sometimes this was at the hippo pool, right after seeing the hippos, we have a breakfast there, and then enjoy whatever coffee, tea, whatever you want, fruits, pineapple, whatever you wanted. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is the day we moved from Tarangire going to Ngorongoro to Serengeti. We pack somewhere and enjoy our picnic boxes. Yeah, now you can see in the middle of nowhere, Yeah. And this is how the trucks looks like from inside. Yeah, the roof's up there. You can charge your cameras, and way down on the back there's a fridge, as I was telling you, the place where you can put all this drinks and whatever. So drinking water is a must every single day. Okay, because of dehydration. But of course, after drinking, you gotta go for number one. So in every 1 hour, we normally stop to the bathrooms. And all these bathrooms, we call them golden opportunities. So, because they might be to your standard or a little bit lower standard. But you gotta go, you know what I mean? Yeah, and but if somebody wanna go before that, you form your guide and then we stop somewhere and then we do that. It's very important. Yes. Oh, sorry. So the other thing is what you were saying, it's about the cultural experience. You'll see all these beautiful animals, big five. Nowadays we don't call it big five, we call it big 10. So the big five, which before it was named by hunters in the 20s and 30s, which is a lion, leopard, rhino, buffalo, and elephant. So this kind of tourism now, photographic, even if you use your cell phone, we added another 5 out of the 5. So we have cheetah, we have hyena, we have giraffe, we have zebra, and we have a hippo. So we put, now they're 10. I don't know why they didn't put the wildebeest, so after seeing all these animals, there's enjoying the cultural experience. Speaking of Tanzania, for these groups coming, we have over 128 different tribes. All these tribes living harmoniously, peacefully like that. And a part of it will be going to the Maasai, a real authentic Maasai village, and interact with Maasai, see how they live, go inside their huts and get that experience. And a part of it will be going to the school. And the public schools. I own my own school called Hope Girls and Boys. And I have another school, the Maasai named after me. It's called Lucas Mhina Primary School. So we'll go into that. And then, of course, a part of it will be going to a village which have different tribes. They're called Mtuambu village. And go to the village, walk in the village, experience the muddy houses, banana beer. And part of it, you'll be fed a local cuisine, well prepared, so that you can get that experience of that. And speaking of the Maasais, it's one of the tribes in Tanzania which are still polygamous. For them, Maasais, cows are everything. Cows means wife, because they use a cow to pay dowry. Cows means house. they use a cow dung for plastering the huts. Cows needs a place to sleep because they use a cow's skin as a mattress. Cows needs food because they get milk, blood, and meat from it. And cows means wealthy. The more cows you have, the more Bill Gates you look like. Put that way. You know, people they're like, oh, he's the man to discuss things. It's like that. So their culture, which is quite very fascinating, you know, they live like in the military. They respect you. Laura always have to respect the elder, and it goes like that. If somebody elder says A, even if it's a bullshit, excuse my language, the answer is A. Nobody say, oh, you know, he said A, should be A. You know, so that's how they live. You know, so it's a little bit difficult to us who live in town, but that's their custom. Yeah, so like that. And they're still circumcising both genders, but now, you know, things are changing for the girl side. But the boys, it's between 10 to 17 years. That's when they do that. And they want them to feel that, you know, and there's a time they teach them to become a man and all those kind of things. Yeah. But those years back in 60s, they used, after being a warrior, you gotta go and kill a lion. Okay, but nowadays, because of tourism and conservation, there's nothing like that. What they do, the warriors, they take their livestock into the mountains and grazing there, the cows, and then when they bring them home without any loss, now you're a strong guy. Like that. And they still have arranged marriages into the villages. Yeah. Yes, which is different to us. So we'll be visiting one of the very authentic village when we go there. So this is like a local market I was talking about. Yeah, so that's where they sell everything there. You name it. From a dry food, all kind of you know, corn, beans, you name it, rice, and all thank God they're all none of them from China. And, and then of course dry fish like sardines, tilapia, you pack fish, and then they got fruits, vegetables, and majority of people in Tanzania, they buy daily because in the villages they don't have refrigerator system. So it's a daily consuming. You know, you go to the market, you buy what you can consume for that day. And I remember when I was growing up, it's so funny. As in the village, in all my youngwood life, eating rice, chicken, beef, oh my God, it was a big deal. You know exactly when mama gonna cook rice or chicken or chapati. You know chapati? It's like a pancake. Yeah. So those 4 dishes, you know exactly next week, Sunday, there's a guest coming, so we'll have a chicken. So that, of course, when the guests come, we won't have a big piece. We'll just have a little leg because most of it will be for guests, but at least. So whatsoever mama tells you between these 2, 4, 5, 10 days, you do it accordingly. Because she always tell you, we're gonna have a chicken. You won't have a piece if you don't do my job. So you go, you know, so like that. So when I went England for my studies, oh my God, I became totally friendly to KFC. Every single day, chicken. Yeah, so yeah, and so all the vegetables they're, you know, well prepared for your standard. In all restaurants where you're going to go in hotels and lodges. And this is another very funny thing. My first time to eat and cook vegetables was here in America, 207. I went to restaurants and my friend said, oh, you can have a Caesar salad. Caesar salad? Yes, you know, with a little salmon, a lot of greens. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I had to take a picture of me sitting, took me a picture, big bowl, smiling on it. So when I went home, I did a slideshow. I mean, pictures to my kids. I was in my living room with my kids, and then my son, that picture came up, Dad having this big bowl with the greens row. He looked at me, looked at the picture, he looked at me, looked at the picture, and then he ran out and he called my wife, Mom, come and see Daddy was eating grasses like a god. So, you know, because it's not our custom, you know, if we eat and cook maybe fruits or maybe a carrot, you know, like that. So that was my first time, and I never forget that. So my kids thought that in this country, there's no food, you know? Because, you know, everything is chicken, beef, you know,
So,
rice.
okay, if your mom makes beef or chicken,
Right.
when company comes, what do you eat when you don't have company?
Oh, we eat ugali. Ugali, it's cornbread, like
Okay.
a polenta.
Okay.
Yeah, so with the beans
Okay,
or greens without the beef.
okay,
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's Monday to Monday, you know. And then there's another food called makande, which is a mix of corn and beans boiled up together. So it depends on if you're financially somehow stable, you can put a little bit of cooking oil or salt, or you can put a coconut cream, or other people that put a pumpkin in it. So it depends if you got that. But if not, it's a, you know, that the way it is. Yeah.
Okay.
The most important is this thing to come up. That's it. It's not about nutritious. These are Maasai people. Yeah, and as I explained to you about the culture, you know, the ones with the necklaces, those are women, and the other ones were men who are just dancing for us. So we'll get that experience when we go there. And of course, this is the school now. One of the school they named after me. Just what happened is we built them. They asked us to build a school, and then when we were doing the school, the villagers said, this school has to be named after you. And I was like, okay. So I'm there in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, so all these are teachers and everybody there. Yeah, yeah.
Is it appropriate to bring a little gift for the kids?
Yeah, like a pencils, frisbees, all those kind of things. You got that, right? Information for all the school supplies if people want to bring pens and pencils. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and this is my other school in town. This one I started it purposely. It's called Hope Girls and Boys School. I started this purposely after being helped by their friend. Her name is Christine. I'm sorry, I'll talk about it a little bit. She did the wonders in my life. She sponsored me to go to school in England. So when I came back home, I opened a tour business and I was looking where to give back. So I built the school slowly. We opened 2020 with 9 kids. Today we have 675 kids in the nursery. So I'm a happy camper. Yeah. So there we go. So accommodation, the places where you're going to stay. Of course, the way we did this tour, the Sun Tours, of course, they're 5-star hotel, but we look for the good standard, good quality, 3.5 to 4-star there. A nice place to sleep, good food, of course, proper bathroom and shower and everything. So we just mixed up with a concrete building in Arusha, and when in the Serengeti, you're gonna be camping, but it's a fake camping, glamping. So this is a kind of the camp. Actually, it's a wooden floor, and I see this. This is what I was telling you. This is from my camp. This is my camp in Serengeti. The giraffes are there. So you sit on the deck. They're there. You know. Yeah. So this is how you'll be bedding, you know, the beds, you know. Yeah, and this is the second camp now with it doesn't have a wooden floor, but you know, it's down there, but everything is in there as flush toilet. Okay, and of course that's a view from the top. Yeah, and this you sit outside and enjoy your day. We call it bush television. You know? Yeah, the campfire there, and you can enjoy your gin and all kind of drinks you want, beers, wines, you name it, you know, for your standard. And then even the ice are bottled water, so you can, if you want to have a gin and tonic or something like that. Yeah, and but here, this for the gorillas now, which will be next year. And this was before we human beings brought the problems. And this is after we brought the problem. You see the difference? Before there was no mask. But now when you go to see the gorillas, once you're there to the gorillas, you have to wear the mask. Yeah, so we create our own problems. This was June last year. Yeah, so we went. So once you get to the gorillas, there might be there, you put all your backpacks and all your foods here and remain with the truckers, and you wear your mask, and then you go there. They come right there. Oh yeah, they come right there. My first experience, went there, I was a little bit tired, and then I leaned myself on a little branch, and there came a young gorilla towards me coming. Of course, the gorilla mountain guide, he knew exactly what was happening, but I didn't know. I was really panicking. You know, the more closer it get, the more bigger it is. So you get closer and closer and closer. And I looked at the guy like, what should I do? There's nowhere to run. There's nothing. He said, hey, stay there. So he came, he went behind me and pulled out that little tree I was leaning on. And then I fall down and off he went. And I was like, what's all about? He said, hey, you're using his tools. If you're tired, kneel down or sit down. Don't use any of the stuff around there. So it's a big lesson for me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, this is how close you can get to the gorillas right there. This day was so funny. We entered the forest, tracking them, and the tracker said, oh, we see them walking back towards the way you came from. So we went and did a detour, and then exactly outside the park, they were there. And they came out to eat eucalyptus. You see all those trees, huh? Yeah, so they came out to feed on eucalyptus.
Lucas?
Yes.
Will you be running the September 24th trip?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
As long as I'm alive, I have no choice. Yeah. So yeah, we're licensed not as operator to only as a guide, because you have to get a guide license in Rwanda, Uganda, and Kenya. So I got my license for the whole region. So I'll be there. So for the Zanzibar, and also as some are interested, as I was telling you, it's very interesting there, as it's explained there, but very historical island, about 16 different islands, but the biggest one is Zanzibar, or which is called Unguja, and beautiful beaches, very historical spice farms, and beautiful place to end up your tour if you're interested too. So that's how Zanzibar looks like. Yeah, it's beautiful, and this is how the beaches look like, you know. So yeah, and just getting this. Yes.
Is Zanzibar an extension of the Rwanda trip or the Tanzania trip? Or...
Tanzania trip, and then we can put that station for Rwanda.
So yeah, this year we have it's a 5-day extension to each tour, each Tanzania tour, that people can sign up for certainly, and we can add that on to the other tours next year as well. So if you look at the map where Zanzibar is, it's just off of the coast of Tanzania. And it used to be its own country, but now it's certainly part of Tanzania.
Oh. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so yep. So in Zanzibar, you can do all kind of water spots, you know, scuba diving, you name it. And yep, as I was saying, guides are everything, you know. So this is a part of the guides, the team. Of course, we're 16 of us into the team, and going.
How many people do you have on your team?
Guides 16.
16?
Yeah, 16. I'm 17. I love it. It's good. It's nice to have people behind your car keep saying, wow. Yes. Yep. All right. And that's it. Yeah. 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 So looking forward. Yeah, thank you. We're sorry for a technical problem. Next time we'll have a 10-year-old kid with that.
So do you have any questions for Lucas?
What's the weather, the temperature range for the end of April?
With this month, where you're going to be there?
Yeah.
May, June? Okay, it's a different altitude. The Arusha area, maximum 60. In Tarangire Park, it's a low altitude, goes to 80 in the middle of the day. Ngorongoro is 7,500 feet. So that goes back to 50, 60 in the middle of the day. It's a light jacket, especially early in the morning when we go for the game drives. You need to have a little fleece like that, and you're okay. In the middle of the day, you might put it in the back seat there.
When I go to Africa, I will wear like a light down jacket in the morning and crush it up for the afternoon. Just wearing layers. And I'll bring a winter hat as well, because it's pretty chilly in the mornings to go out and game drives, going out at 5 or 6 in the morning, you know, before it's up. As you guys know, we live in the desert and it gets chilly in the morning and warms up quickly.
Okay, please.
What kind of electricity are in the area?
Oh, we're using 240. And then how do you call that little
Adapter.
the adapter, you know, to make you I don't know how you call it, I have mine,
Yeah, we will have all of that.
All that
not that
stuff for you
information,
as well.
perfect.
It's-
Okay.
That's one of those things we'll go over about 4 weeks before the tour, the electrical, all that. That we don't want to know.
Should we be getting a visa before that?
Yes, I think, yes.
Before his briefing?
Yeah, you can get a visa even from now onwards to be on the safe side. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll be sending out some information pretty soon about updated visa.
And the link out, please.
How long is the airplane ride from here to there?
Can you put it like a 20 hours total, including the layover in between? You
How
know,
many layers?
only one,
Just one?
only one, yes. If you
From
fly,
Albuquerque
for example,
to-
okay, I fly,
Yeah, I mean, we might go, it depends on how we go.
Yeah.
But we'll probably go Albuquerque to Atlanta, Atlanta there, or we'll be going to Dallas, just depends, but either Dallas, Atlanta, or even Denver can go direct.
And then.
Yeah, and it depends on, because it kind of just depends, we'll have to look at our routing. We already have the tickets for May, and I'll have to look at the routing that we have. I think we're Quincy, who's a tour coordinator, has that information, so. We'll be sending out very soon.
yes, good.
We won't see any gorillas in.
Anytime,
Tanzania,
no,
will we?
no. Would like to see you the next year again.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
How long is the trip, Tanzania, I'm sorry, the Kenya, Rwanda trip?
maximum 2 weeks,
2 weeks.
yes, you know, including in and out.
So are there dates yet for that?
So here, I'll say, right now, we're planning on 4 African tours next year. The first tour is going to be Tanzania, of course, led by Lucas, and we'll leave about the same time as this year, late May. Then we're going to Namibia. We're going to Botswana and Zimbabwe, and we're doing that in July. And then we're going to Kenya and Rwanda, and that'll be in late September. And then we have an Egypt tour and cruise, and that'll be in November. So that's our Africa 2025. So if anybody has any interest to go on one of these tours, just leave your name with Christy, and as soon as we have it ready, we'll call you and get you right on the tour. So thank you. Any other questions?
Another question? All right. I can't wait to see all of you down there. You know, you gotta come again, you gotta come again, you gotta come again. Please, welcome aboard.
So yes, and we do have some people who have traveled with us before. These 2 young ladies over here, I know. This gentleman in the front went to Tanzania a few years ago. So if you have any questions about it, don't hesitate to ask. I know they'll be gushing about it for years afterwards.
But it's truly an area that needs to be experienced, you know, and it was very good. And the guides, you know, you can't say enough about that. They're comfortable and they want to share. So that's, you know, and that's really what makes the trip. You know, our guides, you know, that came with us. So that was in 2022 at the time. I talked to, you know, I was talking to Lucas about the big migration. That's what you see, right? You know, see, how about the gorillas, you know, so I'm there in 2025, you know, and it's a place that you just don't, you know, growing up, you know, it's far off place, you know, but I find the people that get it and nice, and I want to go, and I want to get back.
And I've heard people say, oh, there's a trip that can change your life. And I thought it was a little bit, but this trip changes your life.
Yeah.
And it's for me, and so like, it's a privilege to get to do it. So I very
So enjoy your tour. Again,
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for coming.
Yeah,
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call. And I'll see some of you in May, or it's actually in late April here for our tour briefing. And we'll see you on tour. looking forward to traveling with them. Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
I'm gonna try to go next year.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Hi.
Yeah.
Christy can help you.